Hi folks, welcome back inside Manhattan basketball for the first time here in the 2014-2015 season. Christian, I'm with the head coach of Manhattan women's basketball, John Olenowski. Coach, how's the summer?
It was very, very well, Christian. We enjoyed it. We had a nice trip up to Canada and got a little vacation in, so we're relaxed and ready to go. Looking forward to a great season.
Obviously, last year in the past, ready to move on here to this year. Talk a little bit about that Canada trip. 3-1, the only loss to McGill, a very good program up north of the border. But what did that trip do for this team?
Well, I think it certainly gave us confidence that we can play against really good teams and be successful, which we were. The first two teams were very, very strong, and we beat them at their place both games, and kind of got better after each and every one of those games. McGill is one of the better teams in Canada. They had basically 6 D1 players that had transferred from other schools, whatever, and they're very, very tough. So that kind of helped us a little bit because maybe we were gaining a little too much confidence too soon and kind of brought us back down. And then the last game we played very, very well to beat a very good UQuam team. So it was a good trip all around, and we got better, and bonding was great. So I think the girls are very excited about it and looking forward to the season.
Talk a little about the players that are going to be on the roster this year. The big one that kind of sticks out to me is the fact that the lone senior in Ashley Stack, how much are you going to lean on her? Because she's improved tremendously every single year, but how much do you lean on her for her leadership?
Well, I think we have to lean on her quite a bit. She's a very good player, both offensively and defensively. At the end of the year, I think she had double figures in the last 5 or 6 games. Ironically, I was looking at some of the stats in the MAC conference, and she was second in free throw shooting, very close to Martinez from Iona. And she was involved in steals. She made the top 15 there, and points, and a lot of different things. So she had a really, really good finish, and we're expecting her to have a big year for us this year.
There was one game last year at St. Peter's where she was close to a triple-double in the first half.
Yeah, it was incredible. It really was.
She's had a very good career, and of course, this being her senior year. When you look at the rest of this team, who do you kind of lean on? Because, you lose Allison Skreck, you lose Monica Roeder. Who do you kind of lean on as some of those offensive weapons?
Well, certainly Shayna Erickson has to step up, and Shayna has been a solid player for us for 2 years, and she was our leading scorer up in Canada. She's shooting the ball really, really well, and she's very strong. So I think Shayna is going to be a very, very big key for us, both offensively and rebounding for sure. Jackie Thompson had a really, really nice offensive performance up in Canada, as well as handled the ball and played really good defense. So I think she can help us as well, in the point department. And certainly Blake Underhill, this is her 3rd year, and she's a really, really solid point guard, and her shooting's improved, but she takes it to the basket really well, and we expect that she can score also. And Kayla Grimmie, having her back, whatever, and those 3 double-doubles, whatever, that she started the season off with, whatever. It's nice to know that we've got somebody that we can get the ball inside and she can be a consistent scorer. So we're counting certainly on her. And Mickey Guyton is back, and Mickey's a tremendous athlete, so I think she's really going to help us this year. And we're really happy to get her both offensively and be able to have her rebounding in there as well.
You mentioned Jackie, Mickey, and Kayla. The 3 of them kind of double your recruiting class, because obviously Jackie was ineligible last year after transferring from Wagner. Kayla and Mickey had to miss the year with injuries. How great is it to have those 3 players, especially 3 players who have already had a year in this program?
Well, it's tremendous. It really is. And you combine those with the other 3 freshmen that we have coming in that are tremendously talented. That's 5 really good players of your freshman class, and it makes for a great class, and the future looks really bright having players like that in our program.
Ashley is a senior, Shayna, Kayla, Mickey. It seems as though the post could be a real strength for this team.
Yeah, and it was in Canada as well, so I think that we're going to be able to get the ball inside, and we're going to be able to have a really good inside game and complement that with our outside shooting. So certainly we can rely on our inside game and then hit the outside shot as well. But while I say that, I did forget Maeve Parrothouse, who in the McGill game, when we got down pretty quickly, she came out, hit 2 quick threes, had a nice basket inside. So we're expecting some really good things from Maeve as well, and she might be one of our best shooters in the program right now, one of our best 3-point shooters, as well as Alex Cohen.
And she's able to stretch the defense, obviously, with her length and things like that. When you look at this team coming forward, and obviously the youth in it, the strength that you may have. We've talked a lot about the last couple of years, the point guard position being so key, and Allison was great with that last year.
Right.
How much is Jackie going to be kind of the floor general this year? How much do we expect to see her running everything?
Well, she's tremendously talented. She's a veteran. She played 2 years at Wagner and was the only player over there that had a positive assist-to-turnover ratio. And we watched a game film against Syracuse, and she had 12 points and 6 rebounds against Syracuse, and that's not an easy chore, I can tell you that right now. So she's a really good player. She plays really hard. She's very strong. So she's going to help us tremendously settle our team down and do the things that we look for at the half-court level.
Obviously, the preseason poll hasn't come out yet, but when you look at this team and you look at the rest of the conference, I know you've already taken a look at a couple of teams, but where do you see this squad kind of stacking up as the preseason gets going?
Well, we have high hopes. We really do. We certainly think that we can finish up in the upper echelon of the conference. That's our goal. And each and every year, the main thing is we want to win the conference. Right now, I think with our young basketball team, that's hopefully going to get better and better. I think we're shooting to try to get to that upper echelon and really make some noise late.
As you look at the schedule for this year, early part of the non-conference, a lot of road games, only a couple of home games for this team before we really get into the meat of conference play. What went into making this schedule?
Well, it was a tough decision because certainly we would have liked to had some games in there that were a tad bit easier because 6 of the 9 teams made the tournament last year.
Right.
So that's not an easy thing, and most of them were going to be playing on the road. So it will be difficult, but again, it makes you stronger, it makes you better, and prepares you for your MAC season, whatever. So we're happy that it's a tough schedule, but we realize what we're up against, and we've got to be ready to go quickly.
And for those of you who maybe don't follow women's basketball, there's a little bit of a wrinkle thrown into the schedule this year for the MAC because now you have that outlier weekend, similar to the men. That first weekend in December, you make that Buffalo trip, get it done, out of the way, quick,
It
easy.
is true. It's unbelievable how that happened, and we're fortunate to be able to go up there early and excited about that opportunity for sure.
What does that do, though, for the MAC schedule? You have that outlier weekend, and it's back to non-conference for a couple of weeks and then back into the regular.
Well, I just think that you've got to be prepared a lot sooner, of course, for your MAC conference teams, and we always, have been, whatever. But I think you've got to kind of go 2 segments. You've got to be ready not only for your non-conference, but for your MAC teams as well. So we'll really get working at it hard and watch a lot of film and be prepared, and I think we'll be ready to go up there and play really well.
Just about a month before the season tips off, practice already underway here at Dratty Gymnasium. The head coach of Manhattan Women's Basketball, John Olenowski. Coach, thanks a lot for the time.
Christian, I appreciate it. Looking forward to it this year.
Don't forget, you can follow Manhattan Women's Basketball. You can follow Coach on Twitter at John Olenowski. Thanks so much for joining us inside Manhattan Basketball.